Hello everyone, peace be with you. Welcome to this Jacko Club's production. Today we are going to be jumping into the much beloved fantastical world of Tamriel. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for being here. Please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell button for notifications if you do. You can find us on various social media platforms linked in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, you murdered a child? Not sure how to process that. Nords are very Klingon, in their temperament. I can very much see that happening, it being an accident. And to be fair, she didn't quite say he was a child. He was just a younger man. Still, got very carried away in a fight. That's the thing with aggression. That's kind of where I'm a lot of other things today. Everything's got to be balanced. Strength has to be balanced with prudence. And if you can't do that, you don't really fit in place of the companions. Do I think that totally warrants her never getting another chance? Perhaps not. Perhaps there are other ways that you could safely test her again in other settings, but I'm not gonna hold it indefinitely against her. And no reason to believe she deliberately did that. Yeah, so we were talking about the fact that we were going to talk today about talking about messaging in video games. So, messaging in general. Is it avoidable? Doesn't matter. So on and so forth. So is it avoidable? I think the answer to that one, the clear is probably the easiest place to start, which is no. Can't ever fully avoid it. That being said, I don't believe that necessarily means you can't have an escape. And there's a big asterisk on the avoidability in that you can for a time. You can't overall, but you can create little pockets. And you always will, I mean, just necessarily part of the human experience will always provide an opportunity for that. Also something to be said about, these wide open spaces. You have these in shows, you have these in books, you have these in just about every artistic medium. And though they do themselves speak something to the human heart, that's a much more personal experience. But it's also worth noting that it's not something that we can avoid overall in our lives. It's not something that we need to avoid, right? And that's something we need to be scared of. Like a lot of people are in the modern day. The fact that we are creatures living in expansive and connected world, and the things that we do, the people we engage with, those all have meaning on a deeper level and contribute to our understanding and the development of ourselves. And the development of our understanding of the world. VR fishing in a nice cool miller. There you go. Yes. It is a great escape, and we have to redefine escape to an extent as well for this discussion. And that though there isn't that purist escape that someone might think of when they first discuss it, there is still what often people mean is more a reference to their ability to process what's already going on in their own minds. And there is an art to that. There's an art to being able to step out of what's going on in the world. Even being able to do that in the moment. That's a wonderful thing to be able to learn to do. It's an essential thing for people to do. Totally, in order to get to a place where they can truly say they are on top of themselves. An important part of being both an ethical and intellectual person is to be able to step out, slow things down, and just be. One of the part of the beauty of the biblical verse, "Be still and know that I am God," is that stillness is not just for our benefit, but also for His. Know in the biblical sense is a term of connection. intimacy. And it's a very active thing. And the truth of the matter is that we are all on a journey to be able to come to a place where we can consistently be ourselves and be aware of who we are, but still be living out of that. Living our lives in such a way where even in moments where we're doing nothing, we are contributing to the broader world. Walk here so we can keep going. Yeah, so can you totally get out of it? No. That being said, you are going to have moments that make it easier. Moments like these where it's just wide open. You can stop and pause and do to yourself what we're doing out loud here. Oh, looks like we have come across another adventure. It was already a good stopping point, so let's get into that, and then we will find our way back in. Well, it looks like things aren't so borderless anymore. I can't. It's fine. This is on my phone still, so look at that. Up again. We'll pick up where we left off there. You know, escapes are to an extent possible, but you can't totally do it in any medium, even a medium that's just a nature scene, because there are those colors, the shapes are all going to have an impact. Like you live in a world designed to facilitate connection. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's only us that are capable of slowing things down and taking control. Skeevers. Yay? Not what I was expecting with that kind of an entrance. So we'll pick up there when we get back. As to knowing that, what does that mean? Are there different levels, and what is when is each level appropriate, right? When is it now the messaging is preachy? Is there a difference between entertainment and proselytization, between a sermon and a video game? All those answers and more we'll get to later, and y'all are very welcome to participate in that. Yeah, that's the idea. That is a discussion. A lot of necromancers today. Ooh, we can level up. Let's do that. So what's been most tested recently, I would say, is stamina. We're gonna go with that, though. We are already pretty high on that. Let's bring our magic up to speed. A little bit of healing and sparks earlier, though that was in a life that is now no longer with us because we died, but in our head canon we can retcon that. What to do? We've been using a lot of two-handed, so let's do that. Barbarian. We're dressed like one, so do a part in that. So we just did that. Let's bring out the bow. Start with a pick when you can get one, right? The witch. Said earlier about the need for me to learn fire spells, and now we're up against witches. It would be perfect. That is a shame. It is a shame that we don't have them, but it is what it is. Man. No. No. Don't bring a knife to a mace fight, ladies and gentlemen. Not much we can... Oh, we can... We were just talking about it. I know exactly what to do with the body. There we go. Something going on around here. Let's go finish that up before we desecrate the rest of the bodies, because and we should change our terms. It's not desecration, you know, like we were talking about earlier. It is sanctification. Someone could be dying, and that takes precedence. No. What? Are you? Ow! Meanie. Never trust them. I always keep bad company. Met some real life witches in my life, and so they sometimes put on a face, and even sometimes that face is half genuine. A witch is a witch, and like we were saying earlier, there's always connections, things mean things, and there's a reason those stigmas exist. Usually live up. Oh, I had a fireball spell. This whole time I had a fireball spell? Man. Anyone has arachnophobia might want to look away for this. Let's finish this guy. Bring out the big ol' hammer. What? What? That hasn't happened before. Now we gotta kill the witches all over again. You know, now that I say that, I'm not sure that's something I had to complain about. What we did last time we did this, where we died impromptu, and not take things so carefully and lore accurate, so not to waste y'all's time. I might just die again. Let's bring out the other mace, because now we're just kind of swinging around, not making a lot of connections for some reason. The hitboxes aren't the best in this cave. There we go. Make a little bit more precise. You take care of her, Uthgerd, and I will moving on along. I want to know is what I was shooting at before I got here. Right? What? What? Okay.
Huh? I
ate that. Quite literally. Third time's the charm, ladies and gentlemen. Dovahkiin! Oh, well. I was expecting to die again there. That's why I had that sad tone for the Dovahkiin, but apparently not. We lived. Just wanted to end it after being stuck doing this a third time, but alas, can't use magic if I'm up that close. Well, she can, but game mechanics won't let her. Now that we know that there's no other lives in danger in here, let's just loot some stuff. A little bit of a Fallout vibe from that last chord. Any Fallout fans here? Can you hear that? I'm reminiscing to Vegas there. Who am I stealing the death bell from? The rest isn't stealing for some reason? Where'd that staff go? Alright, let's not... What is happening? Like, it did not do that. Whoa, ragdoll physics. I got men bug crack cast on me there. Reference to the chat if you're someone watching this on YouTube. And I quote, "All wizards are in spellcasters. Act all tough until I cast men bug crack." That is a real comment we got on this thing. A legendary comment, I should say. Chicken Noonshit, of course. Is there anything we can do to stop that? There is. I was not honestly expecting that to work. But Skyrim physics paid off right there. Okay. Let's quick save. Alright, so that's probably number 4 of this fairly rudimentary dungeon. That was a lot for doing that 4 times in a row. Give me a second. Give me a second. Get back into that mentality of stillness. Life and media in general would be better if people took more time to just sit for a moment and take everything in. You're a spooky guy. Arachnophobes, look away. Man, this guy is not making our lives easy. I am admittedly a little nervous about this. He can do a lot of damage, especially with his poison attacks. Yeah, I want to use the fireball scroll, but I also don't want to kill Uthgard. I think she is a necessary NPC, so she shouldn't die, but I don't know for sure. I actually took a wrong potion. Alright, let's try the scroll of fireball. Come on, come on. There you go. Just give it enough distance that it doesn't hurt Uthgard. Eat some food. Pause combat to down a lot of cheese. I love that in Skyrim. Like, the best food source you can get is a roll of cheese, which, to be honest, true to real life too. I feel like. Let me know, anyone who's watching right now, opinions on cheese. Is it the goat? Is goat cheese the goat? Or can you not take dairy at all? Why? I didn't hit him. Well, I did hit him. The game didn't register that I hit him. I have to be precise here. Die. Didn't mean me. Okay. Try it again. There we go. Alright. That is all the loot we get from that. A bandito. Don't know how he ended up here, given that the witches were outside. Maybe they just didn't care. But that's a him problem. Gonna shed many a tear over a by spider, though. To be fair, I'm not really sure that's a way even he would deserve to go out. Or there. Not what I meant. Not what I meant. Rolling my axe. Lovely. Increase your stamina by 10 points. We could use that. Oh, if frost, we now have 2 frost bows. That's neat. That amulet on. That's gonna level up right when we get outside. Not available. Yeah, we got some great loot on us. When we get to a vendor, we are going to... Oh, that's not what I was expecting to be behind the door. Usually, what's behind those doors is the outside world, but not today. Because we're about to run out of ancient Nordic arrows, and I'm too lazy to switch out halfway through the fight. Bing! Leash is not a vampire. I'm gonna give it like a 50-50 chance that she was not a witch. It is behind a secret door. So, not so secret, to be fair. Does it open from both sides? Yes, it does. So it's not like they were trapped in here, they didn't know. So it wasn't really a secret from anyone. Just someone making use of the natural environment. That's going to be a way for us to go in a minute. Finish looting. Yep. Instincts are right. That's going to level us up. Level 1 is something nice. Big elk. Friend. A Spriggan trap. Haggraven. There we go. There's the answer to what's really going on in these caves. What makes it so special. Usually is a Haggraven the witch. Beating the witches, I mean. Being said, the Skyrim lore on the matter is that Haggravens were at one point witches. Like a final evolution. This kind of makes sense. You know, remember what we were talking about with archery earlier? How I am not good at it?
Stand a chance.
Please, no! Oh. That was quite violent. Well, let's hope she's in Essential on PC, because... Okay, she is. Because otherwise, she was about to get gassed. If you're a little bit stealthier, probably could have freed the Spriggan. That would have helped, but alas. It's the old-fashioned way. Yeah, we're going to use that in a moment. I'm going to try and paralyze her first. Going to heal, paralyze her, do as much damage as we can. Then switch to Mace and Shield and use the Warrior Potion to give me more damage on that. And the shield will allow us to bash her, which will keep her from continuously using her spells over and over again. If you're in chat, and now's a good time to take a bet as to whether or not we survive this fight the first time. Suggest using, ask the 8-ball. Use, actually, we spent a good amount of time working on that this last week. Exclamation point 8-ball. You type in the chat, should get back something fun. Let me know. Let me know what it tells me. What my chances are in this case. Aw, I do kind of feel a little bad for her. That is some strained breathing. But, I feel less bad now. Seeing those eyes. Bring up. Always, you know, it's how most good fights start. Hope you're liking the Bucky shirt, by the way. Bucky's Hawaiian shirt. Gotta not use my stamina for the hits, use it for the bashes. We're so close that she's not using any spells, and we're just like dodging all of her slashes. I'm surprised Uthgard hasn't gone back in the fight yet. Where are we going? Oh! Apparently nowhere. Woo! That was violent. I love it. Got some Haggraven feathers. Man, we just kneecapped her and then uppercutted her with a mace. Brutal. An appreciation is necessary for the makers of Skyrim. Do I free the Spriggan? I bet I'm gonna regret it. I feel like it's only there to give you an edge in this fight. That being said, it is technically the right thing to do. We are playing the hero in this game. Of course, we're in this RPG. You get to choose whether or not you are, but I'm going to. Man, she did not get the best of things. She has 2 arrows pierced through her skull and another through her neck. That's something straight up like a DM's head. Narrates how you killed him. Oh, brutal kills. Alright. Well, let's free this brigand. Maybe he'll be nice to us. If not, always loot the body. Think positive. Hello? Hello? Are we enemies? No, we're not. Praise be Jesus. Alright, she wants to go fight witches, it looks like, so let's go with her and help her. Oh. Never mind, maybe she's just escaping. Because there it is again. I'm feeling that Vegas. Oh man. We're so gonna play that on this channel. That's gonna be a fun one when we get there. Yeah, no, we're just like on the other side of the way out, so. Well, we'll wish her the best. Brigands aren't usually violent, so feel no need to take her down for the good of Skyrim. We did a good thing today, people. Would have helped us out if we had done it during the fight, but alas, we did it after. No, you don't. You think of, doing good things. It doesn't always have to pay you back immediately for it to be, or to be said that truthfully it did
Let's get going.
pay you back. It always comes around to helping you. Look at that. Glorious stuff, guys. Once again, you can't beat the beauty of Skyrim. Or Borealis. You approach the throat of the world, as they call it in Skyrim. How do I sound, by the way? I feel like I'm enunciating, but I'm a little bit stuffy today. I'm mumbling. Anyone out there feel like letting me know? Level up is available. We'll get to that in just a minute. Someone knocked over a cart here. We're good? Oh no.
You're looking a little rough around the edges. You feeling all right?
I was gonna say the same thing to you, man.
Bandits attacked and ransacked my cart. Can you help me?
I would be delighted, good sir. What can I do?
My camp is nearby in the ruins of Nilheim. Get me there safely, and you'll be rewarded.
I think we can do that. Appears to be on the way.
Across the bridge and up that hill.
Well, we're trying to finish up that discussion, get that intermission. Since we had to break for tech support, we will go a little bit extra long today to make up that time.
We're close now. I can see the camp.
There's no way we're not going to get ambushed.
Wait here. I'll be right back with your reward. Now ain't this a surprise? Did you hear something?
Yep, that's what I thought.
Ready so I can take your
Aw, didn't give us a nice kill animation for him.
Can't wait to count your coin.
Sometimes it's more fun to just walk right into an ambush. He was very sus just sitting there. You could tell by the fact that he was not at all seemed disturbed by the mess of the situation that he was probably the one responsible for it. I was sitting there hiding in the bushes and bringing us up to a fort like your camp. What are you doing out there? Are you a hunter?
I swear I'll kill you.
Sorry that you will die. What? It looked like it was going to go into a kill animation and then it didn't. But yeah, she's not going to die able to fulfill her oath. I think the game can't decide if she's really dead or not. Oh, she's had a heart attack. She has lost the will to live, knowing that she will not be able to take my life. Fine by me. just for that, she will be first to take this journey today. Oh. Yeah. No! 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 Ah! Come on, man.
Huh?
Alright, so back to the discussion question for today. What is the appropriate role of messaging in media? And we've already established that it's something that is more or less unavoidable to an extent. Everything's always going to carry a meaning.
Wait here. I'll be right back with
Everything in life carries a little bit. We are intricately connected to our world.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Now, what does it, there is some way to escape from it, in the sense that there are things that more facilitate the ability to simply step back and be thoughtful about what's going on. What makes those things happen? And to what degree? How often should they exist in a piece of media? So on and so forth. That's where we are right now. On that note, one of the last questions I asked before we took a break from it earlier is there variability in that? Does it depend on the type of media? And I think most people intuitively know that answer to be, of course, yes, it does. There are different situations where humans are very setting-dependent creatures, I guess is a way to put it. We don't process things the same way at one time. We don't process everything together at one time. We rotate through different experiences to holistically approach the human experience. And entertainment is something in and of itself. It's different than certain points that are dedicated to conveying particular messages, and different types of art will also be conveyed to conveying different things. Some things are trying to evince emotional reactions. Other things are going to... Right. You sound so sad. It's so sad there a moment ago, miss. I'm glad you love a good fight. Can't say you're probably gonna get one. But... Well, PB, welcome back. Good to have you. It's going good. Where was I? So, yeah, it's going to depend a lot on the medium. There are some things that you go for the messages to get. There are places where you are going to escape. You're trying to focus on processing things yourself. And so, I think Skyrim is a good example of how it, these things ought to be addressed in video games. It never tells you exactly what the right thing is. It just puts you in situations where you can process them yourselves. It gives you the opportunity to engage with moral quandaries and to decide for yourself, go back and forth, and see what the natural results of those things are. The place where that gets difficult is that you're always going to be somewhat affected by the perceptions of the person making the game. Even, you know, they're ultimately going to have to show the results of your actions, and they might not always get those right. And I think an important part of being someone who enjoys a game, or enjoys any sort of media in general, is the ability to appreciate not only that the work of art is something that you can embrace and analyze and think through, but also the person who created it, and doesn't necessarily... No, we're not living our lives. We're not here to just merge ourselves into the world, but we're here to put ourselves into it. And so we can do that with the kind of the worldview that the makers of the game set for us. There is a, you know, when things start to get overtly preachy and so on and so forth, I can say there's no place for that. This is where we have a good opportunity to transition into talking about philosophical or psychological figures such as Carl Jung and Freud, who I mentioned earlier, talking about the fact that humans process things best in different ways, and they need times where they can just get themselves set in a certain way of thinking, and having media that enables one to do that. For example, a painting, or you're a Christian, a cross, for example. These things have a natural effect on your mind. There is an objectivity to the human experience. They're going to affect the way you perceive the world and the kind of things that enter both your heart and your mind. So there are situations where you want media that's going to be able to do that for you, where you can choose that. But you also, as both a game designer and someone taking that in, be able to understand that's not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. Maybe that makes it a little bit more valuable, maybe that makes it a little bit less valuable. But I think the value in that comes in what it does for a person. That's essential. Even if you're not someone who gets something out of it, further to be spaces where someone can kind of foment their own ideology, for not necessarily lack of a better word, but a lack of focus right now while I'm trying to throw these bodies off a cliff. What I think grinds people gears a lot in the modern world is that things that were designed to be and had traditionally been kind of an open space where everyone could feel welcome and participate and really put themselves into the world and use that as a means of thinking things through for themselves. Things like Star Wars, Star Trek, other Rings of Power, for example, which has its own different set of problems. I think a lot of people are more concerned with the production quality of that in general, but also the changing of the story and the themes is a big part of that. But to move on. Other than I want to get the head honcho and I want to throw him in the waterfall. It's not only that, as with everything, anything in life, there's usually more than one layer to any situation, but there's a part of it that's just, a desecration. There are things in life that we don't talk about them as much in the modern world because the way we live our lives, the kind of system we interact with on a daily basis, is not as attuned to matters of glory and the value of principle, but it is nonetheless true in a universal part of the human experience that there are things that are sacred, things that transcend the material world in their value. And these people have, and that the currency of that world is investment, it's emotion. It's that feeling when you watch these shows that you've loved since you were a kid and you can go back and appreciate where you were when you first watched it and how you've grown as a person, the things that you've held on to, your growth, the way you developed in your life that you got from that experience. When someone comes in and starts dramatically changing that, it doesn't take the time to appreciate what is at the core of that story. It's a violation of that. It is, violation is a good word for it. That's why, when the first thing comes to mind when you think of violation is rape, for example. It's what makes it so wrong is that your body has, or not all that makes it so wrong, another part that makes it evolve is it's physical and it's painful, and it's an extremely important part of why it's wrong. Also because you know that you have an intrinsic value and that someone is robbing you of that and forcing themselves upon you. And when these designers come in and they just take something for themselves and make it something totally different than what it was before, that changes things. But there's also something to be said on the flip side that near the edge of the lake. Look for where a great tree once stood. That is where I buried it. Let's make this look. We gotta wrap this up here so we can get to intermission soon, so I'm trying to get through this. Something still working on, being able to talk through these things while I play a video game. Sometimes I ramble a little bit more than I intend to because I don't have the... Yep, this is gonna get violent. I knew it would. Mental energy I would put into making things more concise is being put into this man's brain. Different sort of messaging to someone's mind. I think he got the message. At least his friend did, because I don't see him anywhere. you know, we got that buried treasure, which was very underwhelming for buried treasure, mind you.
I will destroy you.
There's a sacredness aspect to... Oh, an assassin. I always get jumped by this assassin here when I play this game. I don't know if there is, like... They would attack you anywhere. That was here. But, yeah, for the Dark Brotherhood, I am not impressed by that. You'll find out as we go on just how unimpressive that was. Underwhelming for a group like the Dark Brotherhood. Who, as we'll find out when we read this. Pick up this note. Nope, wrong one. My bad. This so we can belt home. Use. Learn those spells. Come on. Dark Brother Assassin. Yep. Starts with a D. My bad. As instructed, you are to eliminate Jack of Clubs by any means necessary. Ouch. The Black Sacrament has been performed. Someone wants this poor fool dead. Oh, so ouch. No need to be so mean. Don't have to assume that just because someone wants to kill me that I have to be a fool. If you already received payment for the contract, failure is not an option. So, all around, very unpleasant people. Astrid. Well, here's something called the Dark Brotherhood. Don't know if this character would know who they are. But, yeah, they, we know that whoever they are probably not going to give up after just the death of one assassin. What a great video that was. Hope you'll consider checking out our various other accounts in the description below. We put out uplifting content 7 days a week. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. There's a lot more awesome content on the way. May you be there to see it. May God bless and keep you, and may we all live in eternal communion.